I'm Maya Trabulsi. A lot of new laws are about to take effect in California. We'll give you an overview tonight on KPBS Evening Edition. Crowds are gathering around the country for New Year's Eve celebrations. A look at some of the security measures at Times Square and the Rose Parade. Do you have a resolution to get some new wheels in 2016? We'll show you where you can go to get some ideas here in San Diego. Or you could wrap up the holidays by taking in a Nutcracker with a hip-hop beat. KPBS Evening Edition starts right now. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this New Year's Eve. In just a few hours, a lot of new laws take effect here in California. Here's a look at some of them. California's minimum wage will go up from $9 to $10 an hour. It may go up even more depending on the fate of some ballot measures for a $15 an hour minimum wage. Starting tomorrow, California will also have a new equal pay law. Employers have to pay men and women the same for substantially similar work. The Charger girls and other cheerleaders for professional sports teams will start getting minimum wage. They'll also get sick leave, overtime pay, and other labor protections available to team staff. The new law is believed to be the first of its kind in the nation. Another new law eliminates the personal belief exemption for vaccinating school children. Nearly all students will have to show proof they got their vaccines when school starts in the fall. And several new gun laws are also taking effect. California will be the first state to let family members ask a judge to take guns away from a relative who appears to pose a threat. The law is a response to a deadly shooting in 2014 near UC Santa Barbara. Lawmakers also extended a ban on concealed weapons at schools and community colleges. And certain BB and pellet guns will now have to come with bright markings so they don't look like real weapons.
Come on in. Hi, I'm Vanessa.
Ride-sharing services such as Lyft and Uber will have to participate in a California Department of Motor Vehicles program and regularly monitor the records of drivers. The system flags actions of license holders such as DUI arrests. And you can find more about California's new laws for the new year on our website, kpbs.org. San Diego has been ordered to rescind a voter-approved pension reform measure and begin offering pensions once again to city employees. The order comes from a state board in response to complaints filed by several organized labor groups. Voters passed Proposition B 3 years ago, moving most city workers to a 401k-style plan. City officials say they're confident the city would prevail in an appeal. The mother of a teenager known for using an affluenza defense in a drunken driving accident is now in jail in L.A. Tanya Couch was deported from Mexico, but her 18-year-old son, Ethan, is still in a Mexican jail waiting to be extradited. He and his mother were tracked by a phone to a condo complex in Puerto Vallarta. Tanya Couch will be held at the jail until she is transported to her home state of Texas. In San Bernardino, the man who provided the guns in the massacre that killed 14 people has been indicted by a grand jury. The charges against Enrique Marquez Jr. include counts of lying on documents when he bought the assault rifles, as well as helping to plan earlier attacks that were not carried out. The first snowpack survey shows promise, but what will it take to pull California out of the drought? State water officials offer perspective for 2016. Lonnie Rivera reports.
Familiar trek for the manual snow survey turns up good news.
Yeah, that's it.
Here at Phillips Station, 6,800 feet in the Sierra Nevada, there's plenty of snow. A sharp contrast from the same spot back in April 2015. Today's snowpack reading showed a water content of 16.3 inches. And while that's an encouraging sign given the drought, we are still nowhere near out of the woods.
It's what happens for the rest of the season. It looks like we have the potential for some reasonably decent storm activity towards the weekend, and that's what we need.
16 inches of water content means if it all were to melt right now, that's how much water would flow into reservoirs. But because the ground is so dry from a 4-year drought, much of this will be absorbed into the soil.
You say 16.3 is good. What would be great?
Great would be 30.
Forecasts of a strong El Nino season could really help California make progress from the drought if it's a very wet winter.
If we get like a 2006 or a 2011, then we should be in pretty good shape at the end of the season in terms of reservoir storage.
Ski resorts are bustling with boarders and skiers, no doubt an early economic boost.
From a skier standpoint, this is really, really good snow. You know, the top layer is light and fluffy, and I'm sure just having a great time up there.
Still, what happens weather-wise in January through May of 2016 will determine if a new tale is told in the new year.
The Rose Parade steps off in Pasadena tomorrow morning, just as it has every year since 1890. This year's Grand Marshal is documentary filmmaker Ken Burns. He'll appear along with 44 floats and 19 marching bands, including the one from San Diego's own Mira Mesa High. Officials say security will be tighter this year in light of recent terror events in San Bernardino and Paris. Pasadena's police chief says there are no known credible threats at this time. Meantime, police in New York are preparing for tonight's New Year's Eve ball drop. They are checking each of thousands of people who are streaming into Times Square to be part of the annual event. It can be a long process, with attendees waiting up to 15 hours to get in.
It's like New Year's in Times Square, so kind of, if you're New York, I think you have to do it.
1 million people are expected to be on hand to ring in the new year. And in France, as citizens are still recovering from deadly attacks, tens of thousands of police are deployed across the country in preparation for a worst-case scenario. Before midnight, French President François Hollande greeted officers and got a security briefing. In Paris, in lieu of the usual New Year fireworks display, a 5-minute video performance at l'Arc de Triomphe was relayed on screens along the Champs-Élysées. Fireworks were still on the agenda in Dubai, even while a luxury skyscraper bellowed smoke as it was engulfed in flames. Tens of thousands of people had gathered at its base for what is known as one of the largest New Year's Eve fireworks displays. The fire broke out about 2 hours before midnight when the fireworks display was set to begin. 14 people are reported to have been lightly injured. And waters continue to rise in the Midwest. A sewage treatment plant had to be shut down after water flowed over a wall of sandbags built around the plant. Sewage is flowing into the Merrimack River. The National Weather Service says the river hit its peak at just over 44 feet early this morning. Now that's over 4 feet higher than the record set in 1982. Forecasts call for water levels to gradually fall over the next several days. And it looks like San Diego will kick off the new year with warmer temperatures and sunny, clear skies. KPBS weather reporter Steph Davis tells us more about the breezy weather we should expect over the weekend.
Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. And if you're heading out to celebrate the beginning of 2016, well, you're in luck because the weather is quiet all across the area. Now, you'll notice largely dry conditions across much of the Golden State, thanks to a ridge of high pressure in control. However, off to our north, places like Los Angeles, Santa Monica, we are looking at pretty gusty Santa Ana winds. So we do have wind advisories in effect, but those advisories are in effect to the northern counties, not impacting us directly here in the San Diego area. Satellite and radar not showing a drop. We're looking at bone dry conditions with plenty of bright sunshine throughout the day, and we will experience clear skies as we head into tonight. So if you're heading out to celebrate New Year's Eve, you should be good to go out there. Clear skies in Borrego Springs, overnight low 30 degrees. Same deal in Mount Laguna. Temperatures chilly, falling back to 21. 44 is the overnight low tonight in San Diego. Looking ahead to our Friday, same kind of weather pattern here with that strong ridge of high pressure pressure in control, we're going to see those Santa Ana winds start to pick up, especially to the north of our area, so across the Los Angeles metro. Farther south across San Diego, going to be breezy, but no wind advisories in effect for our immediate area. Taking a look at future temperatures midnight for your Friday, right as we ring in 2016. It's going to be 43 in Borrego Springs, into the 30s in Mount Laguna and Alpine. San Diego coming in at 51 degrees as we head towards the new year. Waking up for Friday right around 9 a.m., flirting with 50 in Ramona and Alpine, 57 in Oceanside, also climbing to the upper 50s in San Diego. Once we get that sun high in the sky, daytime highs about where we should be. 68 in San Diego, upper 60s in Chula Vista. 63 is your daytime high for your Friday in Oceanside. Future winds again off mainly to the north. We'll see those winds pick up, so you'll notice 15-mile-per-hour speeds in Ramona, 19-mile-per-hour winds in Mecca, though in San Diego itself only dealing with 7-mile-per-hour winds. So a little bit breezy, not the gusty Santa Anas that we will see off to the north. Here's a look at your extended forecast for the coast. Sunny and breezy Friday. Sunshine and seasonable Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We do have a system arriving Tuesday that will prompt a little bit of wet weather. Same deal inland, sunny and breezy throughout the weekend. Clouds and showers arrive Monday and into the day on Tuesday. For the mountains, much cooler temperatures into the mid-40s on Friday, upper 40s Saturday and Sunday, and we'll also see that rain start to arrive as we head into the day on Tuesday. Taking a look at the deserts, mostly sunny and breezy for your Friday, high 61, cool with sunshine Saturday and Sunday, and we'll see that wet weather arrive in the deserts as we look ahead to Tuesday. Steph Davis, KPBS News.
Do your New Year's Eve plans include a way to get home tonight? Well, several companies have solutions for getting people home safely and avoiding driving drunk this New Year's Eve. AAA is offering its Tipsy Tow service for the 20th year in a row. Users can get a free ride home and a free tow for their car. Lyft and Uber are other options with a free ride from Uber if customers connect through Facebook Messenger for the first time. And Flywheel is an app that connects people with traditional taxi cabs, and rates don't increase during peak demand times like they do with other rideshare apps. And this is a big weekend for San Diego car lovers. The San Diego International Auto Show is underway at the Convention Center this weekend. KPBS reporter Matt Bowler says the big buzz is over electric cars.
New shiny cars as far as the eye can see. The auto show has something for everyone, from big trucks to haul big loads to sports cars with six-figure price tags. And the newest kids on the block? Electric cars. Electric cars are so popular these days, they have their own day, Friday, and their own section in the convention center. Josh Irwin from the Center for Sustainable Energy is making some shocking claims about electric cars.
As far as fast goes, these things have more zip to them, more acceleration than a gas car does.
Irwin says it's all because of the way electric motors work. Drivers put the pedal down and the car just goes. No fuel to combust, just raw torque. On top of the added zip drivers get from electric cars, there are financial benefits. California gives $2,500 cash for driving a car you can plug in. You get to drive solo in the carpool lane, and the feds give a $7,500 tax credit. Irwin says there are even more benefits to driving electric, like no fueling up at the gas station.
Money you save over time is what really makes these cars economically feasible.
The auto show runs through Sunday. Matt Bowler, KPBS News.
There's been an effort to raise money for restoring one of the world's largest inland seas, the Salton Sea, by selling license plates. But KPBS reporter Claire Tregesser tells us sales haven't been all that successful this year.
Come see why Palm Springs, California is like no place else.
The Palm Springs Tourism Authority is behind the effort to create license plates commemorating the Salton Sea, but there aren't many takers so far.
At this point, the license plate is not selling well.
That's the Tourism Authority's Kathy Strong. She blames the slow sales on the inability to take credit card orders. The agency had 1 year to get 7,500 orders. That's the required amount before the DMV will make the plates. It fell far short of its goal, collecting only 80 orders. Now the Tourism Authority has another year to try again. The sea has a reputation for dead fish and unappealing smells, but Strong thinks people will still buy the plates because proceeds will go to restoring the sea.
People, obviously, they have many of these kinds of plates to choose from. You know, they're all going to be affected by the degradation of the lake.
The special plates cost $50 if you want a random license number assigned to you. Then it's $40 a year to renew. If you want to keep your old license number or choose a vanity plate, they cost $98 plus $78 a year to renew. To buy one, go to saltandseaplate.com. Claire Tregesser, KPBS News.
A California condor who helped save his species is getting a fresh start in 2016. Released to the wild for the first time in more than 30 years. The bird is known as AC4. Back in 1985, he was one of 23 California condors left in the world. He was captured and fathered the first chick in a captive breeding program that helped bring the condor back from the brink of extinction. Condors can live up to 60 years, and biologists are hoping AC4 will find a new mate out in the wild.
I'm Gwen Eichel. On the next News Hour, Jeffrey Brown looks back at the best movies of the year. That's Thursday on the PBS News Hour.
And as New Year's is a time for reflection, KPBS looks back at our most popular stories of 2015. The first one comes with a warning. It's scary. This is our story about San Diego's McCamey Manor, which is considered one of the most extreme haunts in the world. It was the most viewed story on our website this past year. Our KPBS webmasters report, the second most viewed story, showed an environmental message that spanned the border between San Diego and Tijuana and was created by 1,500 students from the U.S. and Mexico. And you can find all of your favorite KPBS stories, including our most popular ones, on our website, kpbs.org. And 2015 saw an explosion of interest in virtual reality. Video game companies, social media giants, even newspapers, they all tried to transport people to another physical space just by having them strap on cheap headsets. This year, virtual reality also proved it can be about more than just fun and games. KPBS science reporter David Wagner brought us this story about a UC San Diego doctor using virtual reality to help his patients.
About a year ago, Melinda Person was walking to the grocery store 2 blocks away from her home in downtown San Diego. Just like she'd done countless times before, she crossed the street and stepped onto a familiar curb.
I noticed there's something here.
At least she thought she did.
And I'm seriously telling you, I thought I was stepping on the curb. I really did. You know, it bothers me to think about it right now.
The curb was actually a step away, and she lost her balance.
And then I stepped, and the next thing I knew, I was down on the street.
Person didn't sustain any major injuries from the fall, but at 63, she says it was a harsh reminder that for people with glaucoma, daily life can be dangerous. Glaucoma attacks the optic nerve. The disease has taken 86% of Person's peripheral vision.
So I only have what I can see in front of me, which is the tunnel vision. And the tunnel vision is pretty good. So when I'm looking at you, pretty much you're all I see.
These days, she uses her cane to avoid tripping on things just out of her view. She takes it everywhere, including visits to her eye doctor at UCSD, Felipe Medeiros.
And loss of vision over time.
He says falls are a leading cause of injury-related death in older people with visual impairment.
Let's go upstairs.
So he's trying to develop better ways of spotting balance problems in glaucoma patients.
We need to have tests that are more realistic, that better imitate the way we use vision. So then that's where it came the idea of incorporating virtual reality technologies to this, because I wanted to actually have an immersive environment that would better simulate the challenges that patients face.
He found that immersive environment in the Oculus Rift. It's basically a pair of goggles you strap over your face. 2 little curved screens fill your field of vision with 3D video, tricking you into thinking you're inside another space. Last year, Facebook bought the company that makes this headset for $2 billion, betting big on its promise to transform video gaming and other types of entertainment. Here at UC San Diego, Medeiros found a different use for it.
So, Mrs. Person, we're going to do this test to assess your balance.
In a recent study, he used an Oculus Rift to put glaucoma patients like Melinda Person inside a virtual tunnel. He strapped them into a safety harness to prevent any falls in the real world, and he told them to fixate on a little red dot at the end of the tunnel.
Are you seeing the red dot?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so keep looking straight to the red dot, okay?
Then the edges of the virtual tunnel started to move, making patients feel like they were being pulled back and forth through the tunnel.
So if you look at her, you will see how she's actually swaying a little bit.
Patients stood on a special sensitive platform that recorded their every little wobble. The data showed that glaucoma patients swayed more than normal, and greater swaying correlated with a greater history of falls.
It performed better than the conventional test that we use in clinical practice.
Medeiros says with some refinement, a test like this could help doctors spot balance problems earlier, so patients can get help to prevent devastating falls.
Just put on drive.
Where? Right here?
In previous studies, Medeiros has put patients into a car simulator to test their driving abilities.
Slowly.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
Slow down. Oh, this is too real for me.
Yeah.
Virtual reality is not new in Medeiros' research. What is new is the price tag.
Oh, I'm having an accident. Oh, my goodness.
The Oculus Rift headset costs only a few $100s. That's pennies compared to what Medeiros paid for this driving platform.
Okay.
It's expensive. It costs around $300,000.
Scientists no longer need six figures to explore virtual reality. They've been able to use the Oculus Rift in studies on pain management and PTSD therapy.
The technology is there, so we need to find uses for this technology that will benefit the population as a whole, going beyond just the video game use.
The Oculus Rift fit into glaucoma research so seamlessly, at first Melinda Person didn't even realize it was a piece of video game hardware.
No, I'm not really a video gamer, but I have played it with the grandkids all through the time, but they're not playing anything like this.
Person knows how important it is for people with glaucoma to be aware of balance issues. She says if virtual reality can help doctors put patients like her on sure footing, she's all for it. David Wagner, KPBS News.
And here's another story about how technology is enhancing our vision. In this case, making the comic book fantasy of X-ray vision into a reality. The story from Luke Sheridan of the Associated Press.
The fantasy of X-ray vision is becoming a reality, thanks to researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Graduate students have developed software that uses Wi-Fi signals to recognize silhouettes behind walls.
And it turned out that, yeah, we were able to detect that. And then as we discovered that we can detect it, then we started asking even more advanced questions. Can we use it to detect exactly how people are moving in the space, even if they are behind a wall or occluded?
To see movement in real time, a more primitive method is used. A simple red ball tracks this student as he makes his way through the room and takes a seat. Elevation data of a tracked object can show when a person has taken a fall.
This is his elevation across time, so when he falls, we see that there's a sharp change in elevation, and then we see that his location is on the ground.
Researchers say the technology will help healthcare providers and families keep closer tabs on the young or the elderly.
This is a device that basically tracks people through wireless signals. It can do so in a variety of ways, from motion to identifying who a person is based on the shape of their skeleton, as well as measuring their breathing and heart rate.
Can you hold your breath? He inhaled a lot, so it went up, and then it's constant, you see? So, which means because she's not holding her breath, and her heart rate is pretty high. I think she had already took off.
They also say the technology has uses for law enforcement as well as the military.
In case of hostage, for example, you don't want to send the police inside without knowing where the people are standing or where the hostages are, if there's somebody with a gun, where they are standing, so that they come prepared.
MIT hopes to bring the healthcare device to market by 2017. Luke Sheridan, The Associated Press.
It's becoming a San Diego tradition, capping off the holiday dance season with an altogether different kind of Nutcracker. KPBS culture reporter Angela Carone says this weekend the hip-hop dance studio Culture Shock does their version of the holiday classic, and it will have you dancing right into 2016.
Believe it or not, this is the traditional Nutcracker story.
It's just told in a very modern, with a twist, hip-hop way.
But in this Nutcracker, Tchaikovsky's score shares time with Taylor Swift and Drake.
You will hear the score a lot, but for the most part, we do a year in review for 2015. We pretty much put everything that you've come across in pop culture and we put it in the show.
At rehearsal a few weeks ago, we got a look at one of the dance numbers and saw how hard these dancers work, but also how much they clearly enjoy it.
We have amazing training, and so honestly the choreography for them isn't so hard. It's just we're learning so much so fast. It's getting everybody to be on the same page to look exactly alike.
There are 120 dancers in the show, spanning all ages. A Culture Shock's Nutcracker always seems like a fitting way to launch the new year, with a rousing dance party. 4 performances take place this weekend at Spreckles Theater. Angela Carone, KPBS News.
And as always, you can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. All of us here at KPBS wish you a very happy new year. Evening edition will not be on tomorrow night, but we hope to see you in 2016. Good night.